Jagmeet Singh is running out of time and excuses. With the next election looming, even his own party knows they're in trouble. Singh's flashy speeches and promises to fight for you are falling flat as Canadians grow tired of his empty words and blatant hypocrisy. From propping up Trudeau's failing government to watching his party's support collapse to historic lows, Singh is scrambling to save face. But here's the kicker. While he claims to be fighting for the working class, his actions and his luxury lifestyle tell a very different story. Stay tuned as we expose how Jagmeet Singh's carefully crafted image is crumbling under the weight of his own contradictions. We'll break down his latest promotional video, the growing backlash from Canadians, and why even the NDP is bracing for disaster in the next election. And trust me, you don't want to miss what we uncovered about Singh's desperate attempts to cling to power.
So I got in the ring to take on the powerful few and fight for you. It's time for someone in your corner.
But is Jagmeet Singh really in your corner? Or is he just another politician fighting for himself? Let's find out. Fighting for you. Words versus actions. Jagmeet Singh wants you to believe he's a man of the people. In his promotional video, Fighting for You, he paints himself as a working-class hero, someone who understands the struggles of everyday Canadians. But when you look closer, the cracks in his story are impossible to ignore. Powerful words, right?
I worked for minimum wage to take care of my family when my dad was sick, and made it out of law school to see the system only works for those at the top.
But here's the problem. While Singh talks about fighting for the working class, his actions tell a very different story. Let's start with his luxury lifestyle. Singh has been spotted wearing designer suits, sporting a Rolex, and even driving a BMW. And let's not forget the infamous Maserati scandal, where Singh was caught riding in a $150,000 luxury car while claiming to stand up for struggling Canadians. How does that align with the image of a man who claims to understand the pain of minimum wage workers? It doesn't. But it's not just his lifestyle that's raising eyebrows. Singh's alliance with Justin Trudeau's Liberals has left many questioning his true priorities. Despite criticizing Trudeau's government for failing Canadians, Singh has repeatedly propped it up, ensuring Trudeau stays in power while Canadians continue to struggle with skyrocketing inflation, unaffordable housing, and a crumbling healthcare system.
And what's been the response to this threat by the current government, by the Liberal government that's had the power to do something about it? What has their response been to this serious threat to our healthcare system? They've really just let it happen, to be honest with you. They haven't done what they could do with the powers that they had. They really haven't stood up and defended our public healthcare system.
Singh's words sound tough, but let's not forget, he's the one who kept Trudeau's government alive. Why? Because Singh needs to stay in office to secure his $2 million pension. That's right, while Canadians are struggling to make ends meet, Singh is clinging to power for his own financial gain. And the backlash has been swift. Canadians are calling him out for his hypocrisy, with protests erupting across the country. Many are asking, is Jagmeet Singh really fighting for you, or is he just fighting for himself?
Corrupted bastard. Want to say something? What? Want to say something? Say nothing? You got something to say?
Singh's carefully crafted image as a champion of the people is falling apart. His words may sound inspiring, but his actions and his alliances tell a story of self-interest and political survival, and Canadians are starting to see through the facade. Quick pause. If you're enjoying this video, we'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Did you know over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing? Subscribing is free, and it helps us create more content you love. So go ahead and hit that button. It only takes a second. Thanks so much, and now back to the video. Jagmeet Singh and the NDP. Know they're screwed in the next election? The NDP is in crisis, and Jagmeet Singh is running out of time to save his party. With the next election fast approaching, the signs of collapse are everywhere. Plummeting poll numbers, disillusioned voters, and even whispers of dissent within his own ranks. For years, Singh has tried to position himself as a bold alternative to the Liberals and Conservatives. But instead of carving out a unique identity for the NDP, his leadership has left the party adrift, overshadowed by the Liberals on the left and outflanked by Poilievre on the right. And now, as the election looms, the NDP is facing an existential question. What do they even stand for anymore? Let's talk about the numbers. Recent polls show the NDP struggling to even maintain double-digit support in key battleground ridings. In provinces like Ontario and British Columbia, once considered NDP strongholds, the party is losing ground to both the Liberals and the Conservatives. And in Quebec, the NDP is practically irrelevant. This isn't just a bad election cycle, it's a full-blown collapse. And the blame lies squarely with Singh. His decision to tie the NDP's fate to Justin Trudeau's Liberals has alienated voters across the political spectrum. Progressives see him as a sellout, while moderates view him as ineffective. And the result? A party that's bleeding support from all sides.
I absolutely should be leading, and I will be leading. And there's an important decision for Canadians. We're seeing already some early signs of what Mark Carney and the Liberals are proposing. They're proposing to cut healthcare. We're here at a healthcare conference, literally called SOS, because our healthcare system is in crisis. And Mark Carney is proposing to cut healthcare, to cut the operating budget for our country, which literally means cutting services, which will make it harder for people to get health care, will make it harder to get access to a dental care or to a doctor, will make it harder, even dental care as well, will make it harder for people who are waiting so long in an emergency room. And we know that Pierre Poilievre is openly talking about privatizing healthcare and cutting healthcare services. So for Canadians who want to defend healthcare, who want someone who's going to fight like hell to keep it Canadian, not let it become American, like Doug Ford is doing in the province of Ontario, like Daniel Smith is doing in Alberta. If you want to keep it public and universal and defend it and improve it, I'm your choice.
But Singh's confidence is hard to take seriously when you look at the state of his party. Behind the scenes, NDP insiders are reportedly frustrated with his leadership. Many believe that Singh's inability to articulate a clear vision for the party has left the NDP without a purpose. What does the NDP stand for under Singh? Affordable housing, climate action, healthcare reform? Singh talks about these issues, but his actions and his alliance with Trudeau have made it impossible for voters to trust him to deliver. One of the biggest failures of Singh's leadership has been his inability to connect with younger voters, a demographic that has traditionally been the backbone of the NDP. Under Singh, the party has failed to inspire the same level of enthusiasm that propelled them to success in the past. Instead, many young voters are turning to other parties or disengaging from politics altogether, frustrated by what they see as a lack of bold vision and leadership. And it's not just young voters. Across the board, Canadians are turning away from the NDP. Singh's alliance with Trudeau has blurred the lines between the two parties, making it harder for voters to see the NDP as a distinct and viable alternative. Why vote for the NDP when you can just vote Liberal? That's the question many Canadians are asking, and Singh has no answer.
Well, I think Canadians are really angry at the threat of Donald Trump and Elon Musk, his billionaire buddy, attacking our sovereignty, attacking who we are, and people are expressing that anger and expressing that frustration. And I think Canadians are really doing an important thing when they say we're not going to buy American, we're going to buy Canadian, and expressing that anger and frustration because we don't want to be like the United States. We don't want to be the 51st state. We want to defend our country and who we are, and that's exactly what I want to do. I want to defend our values. Our values are taking care of.
Singh's words sound strong, but they ring hollow. After years of propping up Trudeau's government, Canadians are skeptical of Singh's ability to deliver real change. And within the NDP, the whispers of discontent are getting louder. Party insiders are reportedly questioning whether Singh should even remain as leader heading into the next election. But here's the problem. It's too late. The damage has already been done. Singh's leadership has left the NDP without a clear identity, without a clear strategy, and without a clear path to victory. And the voters have noticed. Let's not forget the stakes here. If the NDP continues to lose support at this rate, it could be reduced to a fringe party with little to no influence in Parliament. And Singh knows it. That's why he's desperately trying to shift the narrative, attacking Pierre Poilievre and Elon Musk in a last-ditch effort to distract from his own failures. But Canadians see through the deflection, and they're not buying it.
I think Canadians are really angry at the threat of Donald Trump and Elon Musk, his billionaire buddy, attacking our sovereignty, attacking who we are, and people are expressing that anger and expressing that frustration. And I think Canadians are really doing an important thing when they say we're not going to buy American, we're going to buy Canadian, and expressing that anger and frustration because we don't want to be like the United States. We don't want to be the 51st state. We want to defend our country and who we are. And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to defend our values. Our values are taking care of each other.
Singh's attempt to paint himself as the defender of Canadian values is laughable when you consider his record. While he rails against privatization and corporate greed, he's done little to stop the erosion of public services under Trudeau's watch. And his attacks on Poilievre and Musk come across as desperate distractions rather than genuine critiques. The truth is, Singh and the NDP are running out of time. With the next election looming, they're facing a perfect storm of declining support, internal dissent, and public backlash. And unless something changes dramatically, the NDP could be facing a historic defeat, one that could take years, if not decades, to recover from. Jagmeet Singh may claim to be fighting for you, but the reality is clear. He's fighting for his own survival. And as Canadians prepare to head to the polls, the question isn't whether Singh can turn things around, it's whether the NDP can survive the damage he's already done. Jagmeet Singh's political future and the future of the NDP has never looked more uncertain. With the next election looming, the cracks in his leadership are impossible to ignore. The party is losing support, voters are turning away, and even Singh's own allies are starting to question whether he's the leader they need. But here's the real question. Can the NDP survive another election under Singh's leadership? Or has his alliance with the Liberals, his failure to connect with voters, and his inability to define the party's identity doomed them to irrelevance? And what about Canadians? With the NDP fading into the background, are we left with a political landscape dominated by just two parties? The Liberals and the Conservatives? Is there still room for a third option? Or has Singh's leadership permanently damaged the NDP's place in Canadian politics? One thing is clear, the next election will be a defining moment, not just for Jagmeet Singh, but for the NDP as a whole. Will they rise to the challenge and rebuild their credibility, or will they fade into political obscurity, leaving Canadians with fewer choices and less accountability in government? What do you think? Is Jagmeet Singh the leader the NDP needs, or is it time for the party to find a new direction? And what does this mean for Canada's political future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more hard-hitting political analysis. And make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.